Collectively, we believed our ideas were important enough to be shared with the world in new, innovative ways, rather than exclusively shared in academic spaces. A gown going to town. The reaction to this idea has been nothing short of phenomenal. In terms of content, our seminars have truly shown the value of the Institute of African Studies by capturing people's imaginations with our knowledge production and dissemination, and by showing how all disciplines are relevant to the study of Africa, and how the study of Africa is relevant to all disciplines. Attendance has been exceptional, humbled, gratified, and truly excited. Following our new live and YouTube format, our very first seminar had a standing room-only crowd that forced us to change venues. At some of our best attended seminars, we had upwards of 100 people, plus an additional 69 thanks to live streaming on Skype. Further, we've had over 2,000 additional virtual attendees at our seminars via YouTube viewings. These seminars have not only brought IAS colleagues closer together and facilitated greater collaboration across our academic units and with our audiovisual and ICT sections, but have also closed the divide with colleagues here at the University of Ghana and abroad. Feedback from other units at the University of Ghana and from colleagues around the world has been extremely positive, and we've received numerous requests for a position in the next round of seminars. With this democratization of knowledge, these are exciting times. Please join us every Thursday at 9 a.m. GMT and be a part of sharing, challenging, critiquing, and affirming our research findings.
Almost as a rebirth of the Institute of African Studies weekly seminar, which has a very long history, and you brought it up to a very high level. My hope is that we can continue with that process as we move forward, focusing on issues that have to do with the continent as a whole, not limited to Ghana Studies, because this is not an Institute for Ghana Studies. It is an Institute for African Studies, as Kwame Nkrumah put it in 1963. So I'm looking forward to a more rigorous kind of research that's going to reflect what this institute really stands for. That's academic excellence.
As one of the first presenters on the first seminar of the semester to be streamed live was a bit scary, but we thought, well, why don't you just do it and see what happens? And it turned out very, very good.
I think by and large it was a huge innovation. And I do recall that myself and Dr. Nabinde, who had to be the, if I may use the word, guinea pigs, to be the first to speak on a subject that we weren't too settled on, we hadn't finalized. It was a bit difficult to start with, but when we finished, we were excited we did.
The fact that people from around the world could listen to you and send in reactions was really, really, really good.
The seminars we held last semester, that's during the first semester, were just great. And even the change of venue is a manifestation that the patronage was very high. It was just great. The organization, the airing, everything was just fine.
I've thoroughly enjoyed the Thursday seminars here at the Institute, and the biggest impression for me has been just the level of attendance from both professors as well as students from the Institute and outside, and coming from a different institution in the UK, King's College, as well as other universities in South Africa, Stellenbosch and Cape Town. It's very rare to find a combination or an equal representation of both professors and students, and I think that's one of the greatest successes of our seminars, and I hope the next semester things will continue that way.
In the first place, it made us sit up and probably helped us to do a better presentation than we would have done if we felt that it was just within the local community, and that was a plus.
And the fact that it was beaming live literally to the whole world meant that you couldn't take anything for granted, and it called for some kind of seriousness. The enlarged audience too is something that we need to comment about, lifting it from small space, the confines of our staff common room to the Nketia Hall, and therefore opening it up for many, many more within the university community and even outside to come with it. So it's another thing that is commendable. And so it made the institute a lot more visible, both to the university community and outside. So I think that it's something commendable and it's worth investing in. I mean, we need to continue in that same light.
I always tried to go to the Thursday seminars because it was a great way of getting to know the work of my colleagues, and from proverbs to stories to uses of medicinal herbs, I found out so much about African culture and was able to hear the critiques of so many other colleagues, and the friendly atmosphere also drew me in. I was proud to be part of African Studies.
And sitting back later to listen to other people, I felt, yes, the presentations kept anteing up. Even the questions that were asked, the comments that were given, were all with a mind to the fact that this was now a global presentation rather than a local in-house presentation. Even though there was a blend of the two, there was still that bit of informality that we have in an in-house presentation, but much more of the formal international conference presentation that people prepared for. And I think streaming is good, uploading it later on is even much better, because then much later you still get reactions and comments from people that will help you better your paper and better your presentation. So for me, I would say let's go ahead with it.
I think having it on Skype, so that, you know, deliberately for people who for one reason or another would like to be there but can't be, that I think is useful.
In terms of the reaching the wider audiences, not only advertising the institute, but also in promoting scholarship on and beyond the Legon campus.
I attended the very first seminar via Skype, and I was truly excited to see how large the crowd was and to be able to connect with my colleagues whilst they were here back at home and I was in Cape Town, South Africa. At my own seminar, which I did with Dr. Nanepia Emidoho, it was exciting to have people not only affirm us, but, you know, stand up, including students, to critique or further question some of the things that we had taken for granted in our research. So I'm totally excited to see that this is indeed truly a democratic space, not only for our faculty, but for our students as well.
Last semester's seminar, I think, was quite innovative. I mean, the whole idea of moving it to the conference room and getting the numbers and filling it each and every time, I thought it was really quite good. And again, the live streaming, I mean, having people all over the world commenting and bringing out their questions, and I thought it was really innovative. And I mean, linking up African studies and the seminars to the world, I think it's something that all the other departments and the university as a whole should emulate. But for me, I think the aspect where you could get feedback on your presentations, people could reflect on it by watching YouTube videos and give you very good comments that could help you in your write-up. I thought that was also quite good.
I think I am very happy because 1,001 people keep watching our presentations, and they called me, you know, mates of mine in Uganda, in the United Kingdom, will Google my name, and then they come across this video. To the extent that it is not only the presentation and the topic per se, but the extent to which other networks have picked up some of these themes, so that when you are searching for a particular item, you see it drifting you into the institute's presentations. I'll give you an example. I saw something on legal issues that had to do with drugs. These are purely legal issues, but because
my presentation was also had to do with drugs. I saw my name there. So I think with this kind of platform, you are actually making faculty and other presenters reach levels, geographical boundaries that otherwise will not have been available to them.
I think the most interesting ones were when a chair was got who came from outside and was a practitioner, had something to do with a professional working in that field. And you got some very interesting feedback and insights into it.
Our Thursday seminars have been very interactive and an eye-opener, especially for me who came in from purely social science background, and then the fact that I now have to learn some things about linguistics, about music, about grammar, about art and all that. And then moreover, it's also been a learning experience for me where I got to find out that in every work that we do, there's also the African perspective which we need to really maintain and showcase it to the world.
The seminars were very interesting and the attendance really improved, it increased, and we saw many people coming from all over the university, from cognate departments, and people got to know about our seminars, and the participation from all over the university was very big. And I remember when we had a presentation by Professor Asari Poku, we saw a whole lot of academics also coming to Legon, just to listen to the seminar and to participate. So that was very good. We got a lot of visibility within campus and outside campus. And it was challenging for presenters also, because people realized because of the screening they had to make sure what they presented was of very high standard, and that was challenging, but it was very helpful. So for some of us who presented, we really saw the need. We felt very challenged to work on our presentation as best as we could, and that was very good, because then it also helps in doing the paper as rapidly as one could.
I think one remarkable innovation has been the way it's now publicized, on the net, as well as, prior to it, a few days you would find the presenters and people sharing displayed at the, on the door. The few I attended, it had to do with the diversity of issues that we discussed. As diverse as the issues stack, also meaning that it brought, other people, who would share with us. I was actually impressed about, the kind of presentations, and even on face value, how they looked so controversial.
For the first time, we saw major changes with regards to how the seminar was organized. The technological aspect was enhanced and was great. No wonder we saw many people, express great interest and excitement to be part of this seminar series. Attendance was great, which even compelled the organizers to move the whole program to the Etia conference room. And there were times that I even thought that we needed a bigger place to accommodate the influx of people who wanted to be part of this program. Overall, I rate the 2014-2015 seminar highly with regards to participation, with regards to attendance, and the enthusiasm that was shown by all.
Anyone who visits, just shouts, wow, this is great. And this in fact touches the hearts and the mind of everybody, because you find that it is not just interesting but highly educative. So why don't I suspend all my programs and attend? And I think this is really good enough because it's attracted a lot of people to the place. No wonder we had to move from the senior common room, which could not in fact accommodate us, because a lot of people were seen standing, stretching their necks here and there, and to make sure that everybody is comfortably seated to be able to listen to the seminar or the presentations very well, so you could get a chance to ask questions, because the whole seminar have been more interactive than ever. So people are expected to listen very well, to be able to ask questions and also come out with the observations to support the presentation, which are later on going to be published into articles for the whole world. So people's contributions are highly important.
It was a good idea, very useful way of marketing the institute and its work. Yeah, to get people present their materials in a sense to the country and to the world. So people accuse us of sitting academia, especially in East African studies, and not being unconcerned with what is of importance and of interest to the rest of the country. So I think it was a very good idea to get these people, fellows and others, to share their ideas, their researches, their findings and whatnot with not only their colleagues on campus, but also others outside the campus, in other walks of life. Yeah, so it was great.
First and foremost, we must actually acknowledge the uniqueness of your own style in terms of bringing the whole idea of streaming the presentations live. And we must all be honest. As Africans, at least, one thing we know is the truth. And the truth is that when you took over, the whole thing was very unique. In terms of increase in numbers and in terms of the staff, for the very first time, you were able to reach a wider audience than the usual audience that we know. Basically, the audience that have to do with the institute. But when you took over, you were able to up the scale, reach the university community and beyond.
This is a step forward in the right direction, and maybe at the right time. Now, it's something that is going global, where things done within the institute can be Skype live for whoever is interested to participate in wherever he is, irrespective of the distance, and have an input, which would also help us to maybe correct what we had not seen, or we have not predicted, we have not assumed, because this sort of contributions that come afar, it make us also sit up and make also people also feel, yes, it would mean that if I want to do something, I should prepare myself well to market myself and the institute as well as the university.
It's a very good idea to allow other scholars from other institutions participate. It's been good, it's been marked improvement on previous ones. We've introduced technology, we've got bigger space, we've got more students participating.
So I think there was also some diversity, and that reflects what we do here, and I'm not sure many knew that.
Last semester is over. We're really looking forward to this semester, and I know it's going to be the last.